Hey everyone, it's me Hunter. I'm back today with another Thompson Tank Engine video. Today we have the classic villain of the Railway series, and really of the series in general, is Diesel, based off a Class 9 diesel locomotive shunter. I had a lot of fun building this model in the sense of its simplicity. There wasn't a lot to it. As you can kind of see right now, it was just stacking 2x4s, 2x6s, and 2x2s for this middle section, kind of what I'm going to call the engine compartment for right now. That could be wrong, but I'll admit, especially when it comes to diesels, I don't know their ins and outs too well. We'll go ahead though, and we will start at the front, looking at his face. I did take this opportunity, kind of my first time, to work on a face a little different from the troublesome trucks, but it's not round like the steam engine. So what I ended up doing is just trying like a flat base, not trying to make any kind of almost 3D look to it, keeping it very 2D, except for the eyes, mouth, and nose. And I think it came out very well. The nose I actually really like. I put a tiled stud on top of just a regular white stud, and it looks fantastic. Looking at the front, he's got the very simple buffer beams that I've been doing for all my Thompson Tank Engine characters. Then he's got his lamp up top, which is really nice, because at first I was kind of building this model. I was like, oh crap, how am I going to get the lamp on the side? It's going to be really tight. And then I was like, oh yeah, he's got the lamp up top. I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the model on the side. So here's where we kind of get talking about the hardest part of this build. The hardest part about this build was getting the ladder in. The issue is, you can note, as you can see, there's a gap right here. Well, if I were to go up so I can get in a third ladder section, he'd be too tall. It'd look very unproportional. And if I dropped it down, he'd be too short, or it wouldn't be accurate with right here. What I didn't really realize, because I didn't pay attention, is the top of what I've been calling the engine compartment attaches to, or lines up with the cab almost perfectly. So I was like, oh shoot, I can't I can't go ahead and lower that section, otherwise it won't be accurate there. So I went ahead and I kind of took the loss with this, because really, though, when you look at the real model, his ladder does go all the way down. Looking at this as a Lego model, it doesn't look too bad. The hardest part I had is getting the brick on the inside that you stick the face onto, as well as getting the separation I need for the ladders. It was kind of not a struggle, but it was the hardest part about this build. You can see here I kind of have some grill pieces go up to represent, as a lot of you may know, the ladder does go up and kind of over the front part of Diesel. Along the side here we have just a whole bunch of detailing. The nice thing about Diesel is it is very simple detailing. However, when you look at the model version, the physical model version, and the CGI version, and even I think some of the in-between late stage models, it's a little different. Like sometimes he doesn't have these grill pieces here. He does have what I call the three main elements. This kind of angled box rectangle here, a flat box here, and then this part that kind of connects to the cab and the engine compartment. It's very pronounced on him, as well as Ari and Bert. So those are the big key points I wanted to get in on this model. Again, the nice part is he's not a steam engine where, I gotta get the handrail on and this and that. He's very simple in the sense of I just need to add a few things to make him look accurate. I don't have to go crazy with detail, but I think a lot of people can see, they see Diesel in this model, especially kind of from the side here. Coupling rods are just like all my other coupling rods. I use a black. When I use black wheels, I put a black set of plates behind the tiles, giving it a nice clean look. I was able to use the actual ladder pieces for his ladder. Unlike on Wilbert, I used the grill pieces to form the ladder like they use on the Hogwarts Express, which work very well. However, for this model, since I was going ahead and using the actual ladder pieces here, I did want to try to use the ladder pieces on the lower portions towards the running board, and I was able to do that. Another challenging part about this build, not crazy challenging again, but something I did have to stop and think about, was the cab. As we know, on the steam engines, they're usually open windows, kind of almost open doors. I don't have to, put in that door you occasionally see them have, like on the tank engines, for example. So I had to stop and think, like, okay, I kind of gotta put a closed-off cab here. I can get a character inside. Right now, I don't have one in there just because really you can't see it. You're never gonna know. So I've been going back and forth on whether or not I do want to make a driver figure for Diesel or not. Either way, though, we'll leave that up to be determined. I had the handrails here. I ended up going with 1x3s to make kind of a door. If when you look at it in person, you can actually see the gap, so it kind of looks like a door in a sense, like you can see the trimming, which is nice. A little touch I didn't mean to add in there, but it ended up working out. When I look at the back of Diesel, let me try to center him a little better. We have 2 windows here. I use these same windows actually up front of the cab. They're kind of hard to see because with this model being all black, it kind of shadows in, darkens in, it's hard to see. I did go ahead and add these kind of detailed bricks or groove bricks in just to add some more to Diesel. Having him be just blank black in the back, or I guess smooth in the back, just really wasn't working for me. I didn't like it. Also, I was having a hard time, believe it or not, finding 1x2 bricks, finding 2 of them. I don't know why. In black, I just couldn't find them at the time of building this model. But I did have plenty of these lying around. So I went ahead and I tried that out, and I really liked it, so I kept it. It adds just enough detail, I think, to keep the model interesting. Whether accurate or not, I could never really get a good image of the back of Diesel, especially a model era one. It says all these I am trying to base off the model era. I'll show you this side Diesel, but as you know, like my steam engines, left side, right side are extremely similar, unless there's an obvious difference, but usually I try to show you the obvious difference side. Then otherwise, that brings us all the way back to the front. For being my first Diesel character, I actually really enjoyed this build. As a fan, as a locomotive fan, I really don't care for Diesels. I find them very simple in designs, very bland in designs, where steam engines got some character, and I think a lot of people agree with me on that. But I know there's a lot of people that are out there that love Diesel locomotives. So I thought we'd go ahead and I build the classic villain of the series, and we do have more Diesels coming, like I said, or maybe I didn't say it in this recording, but I have the box cab Philip coming, and then I either have Bear or Boko, depending on how the building goes for that model. Since Boko and Bear are very similar in look, I can easily adjust the model to either one. Without further ado, guys, I'm going to close out the video here. Again, you can comment on these videos, so please leave a like. It tells me how I'm doing, that you want to see more of these videos. If you do want to comment on this build, please find my link or find my email in the description below. I also have my username for Instagram down below, so you can go and find the thumbnail photo of this or the photo or the showcase photos of this, and you can comment there. And I will see you in my next video.